She was asking about illegal immigrants, and he's like, if less people are working because they get deported, then less people have jobs. Like, he would leave any sort of political bias just on the floor, which I appreciated, right? Because the Fed is supposed to be politically neutral on everything and just focus on monetary policy. Good afternoon, outliers. How are y'all doing? Happy Friday to you. I apologize for being the world's biggest flake this week. I know it's been frustrating. I know normal schedule's not been a normal schedule. Camera position is not in normal position. Hang on. But yesterday was cool. Went to see Jerome Powell speak at an event in Dallas, and it was a good old time. I got a couple pictures here in the Discord I can show you real quick. At the event, right? So I was walking in, says, "Welcome to the Global Perspectives with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell." And super close seats. I think I was in like row 13, maybe something like that. It was pretty great. He came up to the podium, talked for a little bit, gave his spiel, but like the press was there. Everybody who means something is there, because every word that he says can literally move markets. So he has very, very prepared notes that he talks about. And then he sat down and did this like back and forth thing with this interviewer. And let's see if I can make this bigger. Let me see. Here we go, over a little bit. But she asked some very good questions, actually. And I heard lots of people rumbling around me. They're like, "Oh, this girl knows what she's talking about." So that was really good. There were a couple points where he was like, "I can't talk about that. We don't do anything with politics." He's like, "I'm planning to serve out my term, which ends in 2026." And she was asking about illegal immigrants, and he's like, if less people are working because they get deported, then less people have jobs. Like, he would leave any sort of political bias just on the floor, which I appreciated, right? Because the Fed is supposed to be politically neutral on everything and just focus on monetary policy. But it was a good old time. Thanks for letting me go. Listen, the trades did not work out, right? We've got a lot to cover. In fact, I do have a 30-minute time limit today. We still have a couple trades we need to take off, so I'm going to kind of breeze through a bunch of things. Dave's here. Wes is here. Yeah, the spy is not looking so good. Good to see you, Jason. Michael's here. Mikey Mike is here. Bob is here. Yorn's here. Tug's here. Donna's here. Leo's here. Peter's here. Everybody's here. Tyson, of course. That's right, Michael. Brian's here. Hey, everybody. Okay. Sean Louis here. Very cool. So, just real quick, since this is top of mind, we did just boot someone from the Discord. Earlier on today, he came in and started just, I don't know, being ugly. And Goran and KX Chan were going back and forth with him while I was doing other stuff. And I came on and I'm like, look, guys, we got to cut this out. Okay. And I know at one point somebody asked him, well, what's your win rates, right? And so Mahesh and Mark and I were having a discussion about this person. And funny story is that his win rate thing that he showed was literally a Google image. And Mark sent that over to me, and he's like, "We need to ban this guy now. We're not going to take someone being ugly like that." Oh, I didn't save that. We're not going to take someone being ugly like that and then faking, their account or whatever. So this is what he posted, which, funny story. Mark went and Googled it, and yeah, that was somebody else's screenshot. So that was the straw that broke our back, and so we banned him. The Discord is not meant to be a place where we get in arguments, and not get in a place where we go back and forth, talking nonsense with people, or in any way where you're not feeling glad that you're there, right? I'm reading through these messages and I'm like, nobody wants to listen to this. So Goran and KX Chan, I appreciate you guys coming in, but we do need to keep it as civil and as positive as possible. And so that was why we made the decision. We don't need him in the group, so he can go somewhere else and bother people. So just want to make that top of mind. Oh, here we go. Mahesh did make a note just a minute ago. Let me read it real quick. We're all for feedback, both positive and negative, which you guys know we're very open to feedback, right? Absolutely. But if you don't like something, that's fine. And we're all adults and listen and walk through. But if you're adding fake images and spreading false information, then that's not acceptable. We will also let everyone know we have decided to ban him from the server. So yeah, moving on from that, we're not going to talk about him anymore. But yesterday, Mikey Mike says he'll miss him. Yesterday, I had several trades that just didn't work out this week. Really frustrating. We've all been there, right? Apparently Alex Options hadn't, but everyone else has, right? Everyone else has. So one thing that I mentioned a little bit, because I had to do these from the parking lot of my car. I didn't have a chance to go through all of it. This week sucks. Yeah. Where's it at? So I said, team, yes, today sucked, but rather than getting down, now's the perfect opportunity to look at these trades, find commonalities, and evaluate if there's something we can add to the rules so it doesn't happen again. Either win or you learn, but don't get down. Right? And so I immediately got back to my PC and I was like, let's go. Tug says, the purpose of Discord is to find solutions. Yeah, for sure. So I said, let's go. So one thing that I picked up was a lot of these trades, let me see. I still have the spreadsheet pulled up. Yeah. A lot of these trades in the last week had a big move beforehand. I'll make this bigger. So this is my journal. And that's one of the things that I mentioned is as I was going through this is why you keep records, right? No guessing, just using the data. So I'm going through my data and I'm like, okay, what's something I can find? Well, so one thing that I noticed, like I say, was that a lot of these had big moves, but ahead of time. FTNT is a great example. Had a 23% move, right? This is the outlier move we're trying to capture. At the end of the day, this is the outlier move. We got into it a couple days late. Now, that doesn't mean FTNT, in fact, I still have it up, was a bad signal. And something that Mark keeps telling me is he's like, Chris, you should try and front run the signals. Like before the buy signal comes, you should try and find it in the data first. So if we were to look, right, the heat map bottomed and then the oscillator started ticking up one day before the buy signal came. Not a whole lot of time ahead of time, right? But that's what Mark keeps telling me. And I keep telling him, Mark, listen, I am way too lazy to sit there and go through every chart looking for that. So he's like, fair point. But many of these had a big move ahead of time running into the trade. And these trades did not work out, clearly. And so I was like, well, okay, overall, what does that look like? And so I made a little table over here. And so I found 4 days prior. So 4 days plus today makes 5 total candles, right? So what was the change between the last 5 days? 4.82%. And a result was a 3.56% gain on the trade. And so I went through this and I was like, okay, if it's over 5%, and that was just my starting point. I didn't know that was going to end up being the most optimal point. What does that do for me, right? And so I was looking at this and I took in all of these account. The average return was 2.76. But if I only look at ones that were less than a 5% move leading into the trade, right? Then my average return was 11.49. So 5 times higher, right? So 5 times higher. And all you have to do is just buy a stock that fits everything else, but already hasn't had the outlier move, right? Those are the moves that we're trying to catch. So if we're getting a signal and it's already moved up 5%, then I'm going to skip those trades at this point. I'm going to skip those and look for other ones, right? It doesn't mean it won't work out, but it means that the big move has happened. And we can still have some moves, right? It's like a lot of these moves are not all that big. Let's look at a few of them. Like 2, 3, 4%. This one was even down 2, 3, 4%, 1% or so, and still big returns. And then only 3 losing trades overall, right? So when I ran the numbers, what I found was if it had a pre-signal move of 4% or less, this was the average return and the expectancy versus the win rate. And so, all of them currently right now for the master key, 6.68% edge, 88% return, 69% win rate. That came down from 80, which I was disappointed by. So that's basically wide open right there. But if we say up to what move, up to a 5% move, the average return is 1149 with an 86% win rate. So I was like, that's cool. I'll take that. Brian says, unconstructive discussion is not helpful. Exactly. Mikey Mac says, are these all options? Yes. Wow, that's an awesome find. You're very welcome. Yeah, dude. That's one of those rules where it's like, you don't want to buy a stock that's extended, but how do you quantify extended, right? I think in the orange book, the How to Make Money in Stocks book, he has a rule. I can't remember what it is, but his rule is something like, don't buy extended stocks. Well, how do you quantify extended really? And so I think that we can apply that to outlier signals, right? Whereas if it's still showing a buy signal, but it's already run up 11%, maybe not take that trade. Maybe look for the next one. If it's run up only 2.34%, right? 2.34%, and then you end up with an 18% return, I'm okay with that. Right? Now, there are some winners we'd give up here, right? Like seen in September, a 7% gain. A 7% pre-signal gain with a 14% gain on the option. We'd give those up. But I mean, if you just take a quick gander, win rate wise, right? Look at all the reds. All the reds are losers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? Whereas if we go all green, so less than a 5% move, 3 losers. That ain't too bad at all. And that's what the data reflects over here. Is 86% win rate, 11.49 average return versus wide open, 69% win rate so far, 6.68% return. So this is really good information and something that I'm building into the rules as of immediately. Mahesh, I believe, is going to make a change in the screener so we can actually have that built in, because right now the screener shows 5% or greater. I think it's 5, 10, and 20% or greater, but there's no 0 to 5 point, which is what I was mentioning in our Discord last night. Let me make this bigger. There's no 0 to 5 point, and because of that, that's something I wanted to add. So we'll get that 0 to 5 point added in. Until that, I added that into my scanner, which I showed in the Discord yesterday, which is this here. Price close is within the range of 5% over the last 4 candles, so 4 plus today, so 5 total candles. So yeah, I think that's going to help a ton. So moving on, let's go ahead and fantastic insights. I appreciate that, dude. Like this is what I do. This is literally my job. Okay, if I'm not making money, then I'm not doing my job, right? Like that's how serious I take this. This is literally my job. I need to make as much money as I can with this, so I'm putting all the work into it. Hey, real quick, let's do our market analysis. We still have a lot to do, so I gotta get busy. We should also have a heat map stall on the screener. I think Mahesh. Yes, I remember we had this conversation with Mahesh. There's a screener function right here for the oscillator. So the price trajectory oscillator is moving up or down. I'll show you what I mean. This blue line is a price trajectory oscillator, which will be changing how it looks later on. But this is like which direction is the stock moving, up or down. And the oscillator has a function. And so we're going to build that in for the heat map too. Heat map moving up or down. So that should absolutely save us a minute of time there, Peter. Thank you for that. All right, let's get back over to this. This is Smart Trading Made Simple. This is where we save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I've been successfully trading, but every once in a while, I do have some losers. Since 2009, I'm a partner with Outlier, and this is my style of trading using the Outlier data that I call the golden ticket trading strategy. So real quick, how does Outlier work? It's a 4-step process. Number 1, Outlier monitors how investors are reacting to changing market conditions, news, price movements, and the economy. Number 2, outlier determines if investors are acting irrationally, fearful, or greedy, and by how much. Outlier gives buy and sell signals when those irrational behaviors reach an extreme. And number 4, allowing you to get into the stock move before the outlier move. I'm sorry. I saw Mahesh on the screen and that distracted me. Please do remind me about the heat map change in Discord. Chris, on the phone right now. You're welcome, dude. Gotcha. Isn't it cool that we can have this whole like open discussion? That's how we're going to make this awesome. Today's member highlight. Oh, I tell you what, we need to do our weekly winner circle. I am ill prepared for the weekly winner circle. Hang on. So we're going to go over to random.org. Everyone who has posted in the share your big wins section is eligible to win a $10 gift card this week, with the exception of our friend Jean-Louis, who won last week. So if you posted in this section, I'm going to add your name to a spreadsheet, and then I'm going to let random chance determine our winner here. And Mahesh, you are not eligible. Sorry, dude. He's the one writing the check. All right, so we've got Dave, we've got Mahesh, then we've got Bob, then we've got Jason Smith, the Jason Smith. We've got Miraculous, and we've got Michael Wales in Wales. All right, let me double check that I didn't miss anybody. So that was there. There's April, or automated messages. Dave, Mahesh, Dave, Bob, Dave, Jason, Miraculous, and then Michael Wales. Okay, so I'm going to assign each of you a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so then we're going to go to random.org, and we're going to put lower bound of 1, upper bound of 5. When I hit this button, it will determine your fate if you do not win a $10 Amazon gift card. In 3, 2, 1. The winner is number 1. That is Dave. Dave, way to go. Dave is super active in the Discord. So congratulations, Dave, for winning. Congrats at Dave for winning this week's weekly winners circle. So April will shoot him a $10 Amazon gift card. And yeah, that's one of the fun things we get to do on Fridays. So back over here real quick. Be sure to share your stories in the Discord. Dave says that takes a bit of yesterday's sting out. The first rule of Outlier, you should tell everybody about Outlier, because we do this to help you out, right? And be sure you hit the like button, because I know you're already subscribed. Hitting the like button allows YouTube to tell everybody as well. So let's go get busy with trading, right? We got about 15 minutes till I got to run. So let's look at the market right now. 10 over 20, price over 50. I don't know how that's going to look. Actually, give me a moment here. The screens are not ready. I am going to have to go close some screens here. Hang on. There's the market. There's the SPY. All right. So right now, my rule is when the SPY goes under the 20, or at least looks like it's going to go under the 20, I close a thing. Okay. That is not something I'm making up on the fly. If it closes under the 20, wait to put on new trades until it closes back over the 10 EMA again. And so, Jason, the reason I use these 3 moving averages only is the 50 is your long term, the 20 is your intermediate term, and the 10 is your short term. If the short term is greater than the long term, intermediate term, short term greater than the intermediate term, and price is greater than the long term, I consider that a bullish trend. However, when price goes under the intermediate term, like it is right now today, the 20 EMA, that is my signal to say jump out, hold tight, and wait until it goes back over the 10 EMA. Once it shows that strength again, that's where I'm interested in starting to look for trades. So this is a close everything kind of day, right? This is I'm not even going to look for new trades. I don't have to look at market breadth. I don't have to look at anything else. I don't have to look at for any other reason other than we got to close everything today. So I only have 2 trades on right now. One is Regions and the other one is Morgan Stanley. And I want to point this out because this reiterates my point, and I'm mad and happy at the same time, because Morgan Stanley's the only one we put on since the election that fits this criteria that I talked about earlier. Morgan Stanley is the only one that didn't run up by greater than 5%. And look at that. It's up $2 on the stock. We're going to pull out a nice win on this one. And I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I didn't know about this sooner. I lost not quite 6 figures because of this. And I'm irritated by that because it was right there in front of my face the whole time. But I'm excited to see Morgan Stanley proving my point. So let's go look at Morgan Stanley and let's take that one off, and also Regions Finance and take that one off. Ironically, I need to run to the bank before they close in about 10 minutes. And so that is why I got to run kind of quick. Hang on. I have to log back into Tastyworks real quick. So monkey do 420 69 69. Oh, did I just say my password out loud? Sorry. My bad. Don't tell anybody. Okay. All right, let's get over here looking at Morgan Stanley. There it goes. Looking at Morgan Stanley, December 20th. What am I in? $125s. All right. So where do we get in Morgan Stanley? Just a second. Gotta do my math here. So we're in the 125. So we're gonna have to close the 125s today. Got in at 965. Oh man, not as much as I thought. I thought we'd be making a lot more than that. Bummer. Okay. I'll still take $1 out of it, or most of $1. Let's see where I can get filled. Oh wait, wrong account. I forgot it's on the other screen. Okay, closing the 125s. Close full position. Sorry, close position. There we go. Okay. Closed it at 1055. Filled at 1055. So let me update the Discord real quick. Oh, nice. Okay, so trading room. I'm gonna have to search Morgan Stanley. The opening part of it. There it is. Okay. I need to reply. And then I need to copy this. Okay. Today is the 15th closed Morgan Stanley. The 125 calls for, what was it? 1055. That's right. 1055. And that was a 22.91% win. Take that. And a nice small 1.51% gain on the portfolio. And that was because we had market sell-off. Okay. Then we need to close regions. Bjorn got out 1055. Let's go to regions. What are we in regions? All right, so we're going to need to close regions. Full position. Regions 25s. Regions December 20th, 25s. When we got in at, it's going to be close. Where do we get in at? 163. Oh, lame. It's 3 pennies off. Okay, is what it is. Brian remembers the day because he called me out on it when I was trying to not get a loser, and it was like by a penny. It's like, come on, just give me filled by that penny. And he's like, Chris, you're going to lose more money waiting for that 1 penny. I forget what trade that was. All right, I'm clicking this down because I'm not filled at 160. Not filled at 156. This is like poor timing, apparently. Go down 152. Oh, filled at 155. Okay. Out of regions at 155. So a 3% loss, 3.4 or 3.98% loss. Where is regions at? There we go. Reply. Oh man, all the way down. Let's go. Come on. So many messages. Copy this. All right, so we're closed regions financial RF 25s for 155, which was a very tiny loss, 3.98% loss, which is a 0.59% portfolio impact. Market sell off. Okay, so in the meantime, Yorn's out as well. In the meantime, let's take a look. Yorn asked yesterday, why do we close HWM? Reason being, and I should have given better direction on this, but like I say, I was in my car at the Fed event. Oh, which I didn't tell you. Security was tight there. Like I had to go through 2 rounds of security where they were showing or looking at my ID both times and going through metal detectors and stuff. That was fun. And then on the way out, I was leaving my car and these 2 black SUVs like bullied their way in right in front of me. And I'm like, you know what? I bet that's Jerome and his team getting the F out of here. Because they were like inches from each other. They're like swerving in and out of people to get out of the parking lot. That was interesting. Run, Chris. I know. Jason, any news on may or may not? Okay. I don't know if Mahesh will chime in. Mahesh, do we have a date that we can announce the new stuff? I don't know if Mahesh said he's on the phone, so I'm not sure he's going to reply. We have a press release coming out. I'll tell you that. And trust me, I'll be the first to tell you that it's live. Okay. I'll be the first to tell you that it's live. But to this one right here, WHM. So the day before, we couldn't roll it due to liquidity. And so one thing that I do when I roll a trade is I move up my half ATR, right? Because I'm going to make sure that I don't lose any money, as little money as possible on winning trades. And in this case, it closed below that half ATR. Plus, it also closed below the prior day's low when it had hit the area where I would have rolled. So that was a get out. And you can see it dropped since that point. Regions we held because we didn't have a reason to get out. AEE is frustrating AF. It did go down below the half ATR yesterday, but the day before that, it had sat right on top of it. So we kept it. RRC, again, just it had a 7% move up and then it came back down. FTNT, a 23% move up and then it came back down. So moral of the story is we learned this week, unfortunately, with cash out of my pocket, cash out of your pocket, not in a way that I'd like to see, but we learned this week to hang tight whenever the moves are, and Google Finance is freaking out right now, clearly. Great timing on that, Google Finance. Thanks. Learned to hang tight if there is a move greater than 5%. And by doing so, we have tremendously better results, which Google Finance is freaking out. So I can't show that. So that'll be a little change that we'll see going forward. Like I say, Mahesh has already said he's going to build that into the screener. So we should be able to do that on that side. But in the meantime, I built it into TrendSpider. So it should never happen to us again. You got it. Okay. So this is going to be it. And I'm going to have to run. We're getting a press release approved. I record the outlier demo with them, waiting our final date when you can announce brokerages. Mahesh, you weren't supposed to say brokerages. Okay. So Mahesh let that out of the bag. We're going to partner with a brokerage, which is exciting. they're a bit slow, just waiting for them to give me a date. Maybe 2 to 3 more weeks. B2B sales takes so much time. It gets frustrating. Yeah, dude. It is super frustrating. So, okay, that's going to be it for today. Again, with the market the way it is right now, it is a go to cash signal for me. Mahesh beat me to it by a few days, of course. But I was really excited to see with this data that we found, cost me some money to find it, but with this data that we found, we've got a limit of a 5% move in 5 days, which is a nice handy rule, is a good spot to hang tight or get in if it's less than that. And Morgan Stanley just proved it out, which great timing. So anyway, that's going to wrap it for me. I do need to run. You guys have an incredible weekend. I'll see you right back here Monday for the rest of the month. I will be in all of next week. So that's I'll be in the week of the 18th or the 22nd. I might have a conflict on the afternoon of the 22nd. We'll see, but I should be in all of next week. The week after that, the week of Thanksgiving, you're not going to find me. I'm not going to be on the Discord. I am going to disappear from the internet, but then I'll be back the week after that to start December. So you guys have an incredible weekend. Thanks for all that you do. Of course, please continue to update the Discord every single day, and I'll see you right back here on Monday. Talk soon.